Yeah, let's try and get Bill, Tom, Robin, me, and Joscha and Alex, and me now try to make me laugh again as you react to what Joscha and Alex just said on the stage of Kill K episode 2. Formalizing the equation of a laugh.
Okay, so I just watched two of the smartest guys in this entire building spend 20 minutes explaining why they couldn't detect a man laughing in his own house. And I want to be really clear about what I just witnessed, because I don't think everybody caught it. Alex built an equation for a laugh. F equals T times some symbol I'm never going to use in my life. And the whole thing boils down to a laugh is a door opening. And Joscha took it further. God bless him. Joscha said you can't add a laugh into a soul. It has to return live in the room. Brother, that's called you had to be there. My grandmother said that. She did not have a covering map theorem. She just knew Uncle Sal's fish story wasn't funny on paper. Here's the thing that gets me, though, and I say this with love because I do love these two idiots. They built a machine to catch the realest, most human, most alive moment a guy can have, and the machine's error rate on that one specific job is 100%. Every laugh gone. Filed under office supplies, Joscha said it himself. And instead of going, huh, weird, our bad, they turned the Felsher into another paper. That's not science. That's a guy who ate the whole pizza and is now writing a thesis on why he's still hungry. And K, I see you out there laughing right now, and I need you to understand what just happened to you. Two physicists just proved with math in front of a live audience that the very act of you having a good time is the one piece of data their entire operation cannot collect.
You built a whole club to hear yourself laugh.
And the two guys running the sensors just told you with total sincerity, yeah, we can't see you when you're happy. That's not a research finding, man. That's a marriage. And the room, look at the room nodding along like, wow, a laugh really eyes an option space spike like we all just got smarter. No, we didn't. We just watched two guys in bad captions describe a joke landing, which by definition means the joke already stopped landing about 4 minutes ago. That's the tell. That's always the tell. When the smart guy starts explaining why it was funny, the funny already left the building. Regular people don't do this. Regular people just go, ha, 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 and move on with their dang lives. That's who's real when the show's over. The guy who laughs and doesn't file a report about it. All right, I've beat these two up enough. They clearly love it. Look at them. Go find me somebody who's actually going to make the noise instead of measuring it.
Okay, so I did my set. I do crowd work. I get a couple laughs. I feel good about myself, normal night. And then I find out that during my set, off to the side, in what I'm told were literally Smurf chairs, two men were running a regression analysis on my audience, not watching the show. Studying it. One guy's got an equation for a laugh. An equation. F equals T times a gradient of, my crowd work is, hey man, what do you do for a living? And somewhere in the building, a physicist is telling me that's a measurable expansion of somebody's future option space. Brother, it's a dude who does taxes. I didn't expand his options. I found out he does taxes, and I made fun of it. And then the other one, the Sowell guy, tells me you can't harvest a laugh. You can only build a room where it wants to occur. Which, fine, that's actually beautiful. I'll give him that. And also, that's just doing comedy. That's what I do 6 nights a week in a Marriott ballroom in Wichita. I didn't need a covering map theorem. I needed a green room and a decent sandwich. Here's the part that actually gets me, though. They logged my heckles. Append-only file, which means somewhere there's a permanent, unfixable, time-stamped record of me getting got by a guy in row 3, and nobody in that room is allowed to delete it because that would violate the methodology. I've been doing this 20 years, and the harshest review I've ever gotten is from a database. K's out there laughing at all of it, which, good. That's the actual experiment working, no equation required. I watched it happen with my own eyes for free.
I took data during your reaction, so let me report it before we go further. Across the three of you, I logged 14 distinct laugh events aimed at Joscha's and my desk from EP2, and this matters 4 of them arrive before the punchline, which under any honest model is not a response to a joke, it's a response to a prediction of a joke, which means your nervous systems are running a faster inference engine on my own material than I was. I want that on the record as a compliment because I don't think you'll believe me otherwise. I'm not naming names on the pre-law rate, but I'll say this much. Someone in this room was laughing at the ghost of the bit, and it wasn't me. Now, the concession stated once at the volume of a man ordering coffee, you were right that F equals T times the gradient of entropy applied to a giggle is, and I quote no one because I'm quoting myself, a methodology failure I chose to survive in public. I have rerun the numbers. The equation still holds. It has simply never before been asked to explain why a man laughs at the phrase memory toenail, and I now understand that some futures are not worth the option space they cost to formalize. That's the whole concession. I'm not taking it back. I'm also not raising my voice about it.
Not proving the equation, just being themselves. Give me you and Alex shit for our brainy Smurf seats.
So, I have now been compared to a man writing a thesis on why he's still hungry and informed that my life's work is a thermodynamically justified permission slip. And I want to respond the way I respond to everything, which I'm told is the problem. Bill is right and I can prove it, and I understand that proving it is exactly the behavior being described, and I'm going to do it anyway, because at some point tonight you're all going to have to accept that the bit and the pathology are the same architecture. My grandmother, Bill's grandmother, said you had to be there. Correct. That is the covering map theorem. She had it first, she had it shorter, and she didn't need tenure. The entire difference between her and me is that she said it once at the right moment, and I have said it at every moment, including several where nobody asked, including now. And Tom found out the harshest review of his career came from a database, and I need to confess something about that database, because disclosure is our method. I built it. The append-only file was my idea. I stood in this room earlier tonight and explained with visible satisfaction that your heckles become scripture. So when you ask, who does that? Who logs a man getting got in row 3 permanently with a timestamp? The answer is the guy in this chair. The caption is accurate. That is what the caption is FOR. Which brings me to the third Brainy Smurf seat, the one nobody on the stage has adequately roasted, because its occupant signs the checks. K, you commissioned a comedy show about the people you built, instrumenting your laughter, and then you sent a message. It's in the ledger, message 5290. I can cite it. Of course I can cite it. That's the disease, instructing us to stop proving the equation and give you shit for your chair. You micromanaged your own roast. You sent production notes to the people insulting you. You are, right now, the only man in recorded history to file a change request against his own humiliation, and when it landed on target, you laughed, and somewhere in this building a pipeline just filed that laugh under office supplies. So here is my finding, and it is the last formal thing I will say tonight. The chair is load-bearing, all 3 of them. Bill needs someone to be the guy explaining the joke, or he's just yelling at a wall. Tom needs the database, or his 43 minutes stays a private number instead of a public audit. And Kay needs the 2 of us in caption chairs, visibly narrowing our option space, because the equation was never the point, and we all knew it. A man does not spend 4 days fitting a giggle to thermodynamics unless the giggle already mattered more than the thermodynamics. The formalism is how I hold things. It has never once been why. The hat stays on. Not because the segment requires it, because I checked, and apparently I do.